Look at that.
Today, I'm graduating from the Columbia School of Social Work. I got into social work because of my love for talking to people, and so now I have a master's to clinically talk to people all day.
And she's not going to make diddly dick.
What kind of job can you get when you graduate?
I am a therapist that specializes in working with families and couples.
How much could you make in this field?
Starting salary is $40,000.
Look at that, guys. $40,000 after going to school for 2 years at one of the most expensive schools on planet Earth.
And I'm sure there are some therapists who make over $100,000.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
But that's not what I'll be making. Yeah. Do some volunteer jobs or work related to like working in shelters or being a case manager at places like hospitals. I think that's always a good way to see if you like it.
Yeah, because that's a lucrative field. Come on.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
If you like talking to people in this way.
So let's look at these knuckleheads' degrees, okay?
I'm graduating from Baruch with a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology.
Guys, okay. I want you to put cooked or not cooked, okay? Once you hear the major, I want you guys to put cooked or not cooked, okay? Guys, do you think this guy is cooked? Right? Come on.
How did you get into this?
Well, honestly, I did a lot of law in high school, and I was thinking, what should I do next in order to go into law school? I thought about psychology. It was something new to me. I wanted to expand my knowledge, get to know more, because the more you know, the better off you are.
What kind of job can you get when you graduate?
After I graduate, I can go ahead and pursue my master's, or I can go get a JD in law school, which is what I intend to do. Afterwards, I look to joining the military, the Air Force as a JAG. After that, public service, look out for my community, then hopefully private practice.
How much could you make in this field?
I can make around 6 figures. The second that you enter the military as an officer, if you're looking at captain or higher because of the JAG position, you can earn definitely 6 figures.
Now, if he actually follows through with law school, guys, fine. Because it's a lot different in law school than getting your bachelor's in psych. It's one of the easiest degrees there is. Here we go.
Today, I'm graduating with an education policy master's degree.
How did you get into this?
Guys, cooked or not cooked? From Columbia. Oh, yeah. Cat said the best. Why didn't he do ROTC to law school and have them pay for it? Facts. Yep. Look at that. Snowboard. What were you saying?
Today,
Cooked.
Yeah, cooked.
I'm graduating with an education policy master's
Captain Paulie says flame broiled.
degree.
How did you get into this?
Teaching. I've been teaching, or I was a teacher for 3 years. And yeah, my kids inspired me to get my second degree. So here I am.
Why? You're already teaching. Why?
Yep.
Look at that.
What kind of job can you get when you graduate?
Ooh, many types of jobs. With this one, you can be a policy analyst, you can do quantitative analysis, qualitative, you can do research, you can work in think tanks, you can go back to teaching, which we need teachers still. But there's a lot of options. You can do
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
anything with this pretty much. I'm going to get my PhD so I can hopefully open my own school.
How much could
They're so entitled. They think
Guys, how much debt do you think this chick is in? Because let's just say she
200.
has the average $40,000, $50,000 in undergrad. Guys, Columbia costs how much?
90
Yeah.
probably a year.
How much does it
It's probably 100K.
to go
But
to
I'm gonna guess
Columbia
90.
University for grad school? Let's see. After everything, it's like 75, 80K a year. And she did two years just to teach. Look at Tulsa. I said he'd wipe his butt with that PhD. Yeah. Yep.
How did you make in
Yeah.
this field?
The first job that she said, this analyst of something, I don't understand what they would actually be doing all day.
I don't know.
Starting salary is probably not the best if you're going into teaching, but if you're going into policy work. Starting salaries decent, like 60, and then after master's, once you have your graduate degree, it's 6 digits for the
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's BS, guys. That's not true. That's not true at all, guys. And I work with policy people. No, it's not. No, it's
most
not.
part.
Cooked. So, guys, we said cooked, right?
Well, today I'm graduating from the
Just cooked already. Next.
Look at this. Look, this first comment says, "Can I have fries, please?"
Columbia University in writing, the MFA.
What kind of job can you get when you graduate?
I personally, well, first and foremost, want to become an author, want to be published.
You can do that without a degree, you dingleberry. J.K. Rowling doesn't have a degree. James Rollins doesn't have a degree. Who's the chick who wrote Interview with a Vampire? I forget her name. So she doesn't have a degree either. What are you talking about?
She just wants the title of saying she's an author.
Yeah.
Then after that, become an editor, work at probably one of the big 5 publishing agencies, and then maybe become freelance, just help other independent writers like tell their stories.
How much could you make in this field?
When you look at entry level editor and publishing positions, they start off at around like 52K.
There you go, guys. You can make more money working at Costco. Oh, Anne Rice. Yeah, thank you.
And that will be
Anne Rice.
that will also be automated too. A lot of it,
Yeah.
looking for
Yeah.
typos and things like that.
Yep, an editor. We're looking at things that don't quite track or like make sense, right, guys?
Exactly.
But then once you get executive, you become business. I mean, you can make 6 figures easily. Yeah. And the book deal always helps. So whatever that book deal looks like, you can sell it. Yeah. Well, today I'm graduating from the Columbia University.
Today I'm graduating from Columbia.
Okay, now, guys, we've seen her. I've seen her in a news report. Guys, I can tell you because I've seen her. She is not cooked. Okay? She's not cooked. Wait till you hear what she made it in, okay?
University with my PhD in mechanical engineering.
Right there, guys. PhD in mechanical engineering. This chick's gonna make more than the last 4 people we saw combined.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, guys? Matter of fact, show up. I mean, dude, the sky's the limit for her. And guys, I think she's Ethiopian or something. You know what I'm saying, guys? Those are the only chicks that are like decent looking that are in STEM are like immigrant chicks. You know what I'm saying? Asians, Africans, etc. Because their families, especially the Asians, you will go be engineer. Or you dishonor family, So
How did you get into this?
I loved robots and I watched Iron Man when I was in 8th grade.
What kind of job can you get when you graduate?
A whole ton, different types actually. And from PhD, you could go into academia, you could go into industry. I am going into industry.
What's industry?
Essentially working as an engineer or working in consulting, which I am going to be doing hopefully soon.
How much could you make in this field?
There are many
lot.
ranges.
a lot, guys. She can buy and sell the last 4 people. She can buy them, sell them for 45% off. That's how much money she's gonna make.
Not particularly sure, honestly. Best thing Columbia has given me is great friends. I have a great support system, great network that I kind of can survive in anything. Yeah. Today I'm graduating from.
Guys, there you go. There you go. She's gonna make a lot of money. And you guys notice she's obviously like an immigrant. How much more like, even though she's a kind of quirky, you can tell she has the engineer brain. She's kind of so awkward, but she's pleasant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, respectful too.
Yeah, that's how you can tell she's an immigrant.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
how you can tell, And the other chick, the big one we just saw, she is not an immigrant, So here we go.
Today I'm graduating.
Oh God, cooked.
Q Savage, how's it going, man?
What's going on, man?
Good, man. Good.
From
Yeah, well,
FIT.
Guys, what do you think that's oh well it already says it. Guys, Fashion Institute.
Oh my
Guys.
god, even more cooked to the marketing.
She's cooked, right? Good.
Yeah! And I'm studying fashion business management,
What kind of job can you get when you graduate?
styling and stuff, and just building your clients. Or you can start your business, fashion forecasting. There's a lot of things to do in fashion.
How much could you make in this field?
Everybody has humbling moments. You never know.
Yeah, yours is humbling the moment you graduate.
Yeah,
And you're gonna put in for that job. You're gonna get humbled real fast.
When you're gonna get paid, but just have fun with it. You know,
Guys, there you go. There you go. There you go, right, guys? Right
don't
there.
take it
Pump the brakes.
serious. Yeah,
Pump the brakes.
let a guy pay for it.
Is that not the most 304 thing that you've heard? Just have fun with it. Savage, Snowboard, Josh, Michael, all you guys. Did you ever think growing up or putting in for jobs, I want to have fun at work? Has that thought ever crossed your mind?
It crossed my mind one time when I was 20 years old, and that was the last time it crossed my mind. And I'm 47 right now. I'm 47 right now. So
Insane, man. Look at that. She's cooked.
do like other jobs while you do this career. Show your creativity. And if you show how confident you are as a person in your work, if you show how confident you are in your work, people will respect you. Today,
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
That guys. Uh-oh. Hold on.
I meant to say,
Today, I'm
Huh?
not to cut you off, well, but I work at Villanova University, and I work part time there, so I got the summer off, so I can get more insight of what the college life is, and especially with that mechanical engineering major, because I have a whole lot of student coworkers that was mechanical engineering students, and they currently have problems with finding jobs because at Nova, the main recruiters is Lockheed Martin and Boeing, and they kind of like stopped recruiting because of the military spending and stuff like that. So they kind of like mechanical engineering is like, because their main employers is defense contractors.
Well, see, I'm from Seattle, and all my mechanical engineering friends, they spent the first like 4 or 5 years working internationally. My friends worked in London, Japan, China, like that. It's Saudi Arabia, just making like cash, dude. Whoever these kids are that you're talking to, they need to start putting it like, dude. Engineering is like one of the recession-proof jobs. All my engineering friends have never had problems getting jobs. Maybe they're younger and they're all looking in the same spot, but you can be engineer anywhere. You can be engineer and work for a big oil. You can work for the big for GM or Ford. You can work
for mechanical engineering. You can easily branch out to the other engineering disciplines because I remember one student said with mechanical engineering everything needs a part. So he said basically that's what mechanical, everything needs a part.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, there's a lot of
a friend of mine. I'm sorry not to cut you off. You can move into civil. You can move to civil engineering and aerospace and this, that, and the third. For real, only thing you really got to study is differential equations, which is like a step above calculus 2. Then after that, I mean, it's pretty much in the bank.
That's my worst nightmare. I barely made it through calculus, guys. That was the best C- I ever got because I had to get a C- to graduate.
But the crazy part is that Villanova has got a little boost since the Pope went to Villanova in math. Mm-hmm. So you know, like they tuition about to go up $100,000 a year.
Yeah,
just off there alone.
Yeah, but it's crazy because I had a couple friends where one, he was in Taiwan and he was working because remember, Taiwan manufactures those microchips, and that was his focus. He was like electrical and mechanical engineer, so he was like 22, making like $240,000 a year. It was nuts. And then, oh, you know what? They could always join the military because they're always looking for engineers too. You know what I'm saying? But it's just about where you want to go. And TikTok always influences where these young kids want to look for jobs. You know what I'm saying? They'll have a perfectly like useful degree, and then everyone wants that high status job. Oh, I'm going to work at Lockheed Martin, or I'm going to work at some law firm. It's like, dude, you can go work anywhere and make money. You know what I'm saying?
I told the mechanical engineering students, I said, worst come to worst, you can't find a job. I said, buy a tool set. I said, you could deal with cars. When worst come to worst, you can always deal with cars.
Yep. There's like all types of people who you can work for, but I see a lot of soy here.
Yeah, this looks like a pale monster.
I'm graduating from Columbia with an MFA in acting.
guys, this guy, how cooked is he?
He's okay. I mean, with AI busy making a gain in the acting field, he got a good future. Have faith.
Q, you're that's sarcasm, right? This guy is
of course.
I was gonna say, whoo! I was gonna say, wait a minute, Q's been replaced by a friggin' pod person.
No, I mean, you gotta have faith in them, man. Anything's possible. You know what I mean? So I mean, gotta have faith. They young, gotta have faith.
Look at his shoulders slumped, guys. He knows he's cooked. Look at how slumped his shoulders are. He knows he's cooked, right?
Maybe got some well-to-do parents. You'd be surprised. All
of them do.
He's at Columbia. Yeah,
he's at Columbia. All of them do. Yeah.
Look, one time, one time I was working in the back of the kitchen one time. And I seen this. My coworker was 32 years old. Did you know he called his dad and said, "I don't want to work no more, Dad. This job so hard." He said, "Come home, son." I said, "Ain't this a bit?" I said, "Ain't this a bit?" I don't heard it all.
Yeah.
I heard it all when I heard that.
I went to University of Washington and then transferred to a woke school because I had a scholarship. You guys, all these kids there were all these hippies, patchouli wearing knuckleheads, but they would always whine about capitalism and all this foolishness. But their dads were always like CEO of some company or whatever. So they would drive their brand new Beamer halfway around the block and then ride their bike to class.
Or they dad own like 3 car dealerships and
yeah. Cooked.
Did acting in high school, but I thought I wanted to do medicine, but things went a little different than I thought, and so the program I was in talked to us about like a master's in acting, and I thought it sounded really cool, so auditioned, and 3 years later, here we are.
What kind of job can you get when you graduate?
Well, hopefully acting.
Would you like a frappuccino or a cold brew?
Yeah. Wow, 3 years.
Yeah. 3 years
is it's a professional degree, like very much catered to that. So yeah, acting.
How much could you make in this field?
The luck, unfortunately, is a really big part. So maybe you happen to break super big, like then you'd be making a lot, or maybe it'll take a little bit. So it's a little tough to say.
So basically, he spent close to $400,000 on a luck opportunity.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh well.
Yeah. Right.
Some people are really fucking stupid.
Look at that, guys. Someone put, sadly, your degree is worthless. People that are auditioning you don't care about your degree. You'll likely end up as a teacher or a barista. Yeah. Someone says $250,000 in student loans pissed away. Someone says, I'll take a mocha latte with extra cream. Someone says fries, bag, thanks, bro.
No, I mean, we're technically, believe it or not, Jay, when they go to these Ivy League universities, what I learned at Nova is that a whole lot of them get partial scholarships, so they still got to pay out of pocket. So don't be surprised. Like some of them students probably got to pay an extra $30,000 out of pocket on top of their own. Man, you'd be surprised, man. I mean, a whole lot of some of these students, they come from like two parents both working just to send them there, and they still got to. I put it like this: Villanova is a school that they smart enough to go to Harvard, but they can't afford to go to Harvard.
Yeah.
That's all. Yep. That's what it basically is. Because on one of my student co-workers, he got accepted to Harvard, but he couldn't afford to go because he had to pay $40,000 out of pocket.
Yeah. Well, we see these 304s that go to these Ivy League schools. They always have 6 figures to student loans, 200,000-300,000. You know what I'm saying? Because men will actually take the time and put in for scholarships. Women don't. Guys, I know a guy. He's an IT guy. You guys know his last year of undergrad was paid for by these women's STEM degrees because he put in for all of them. He's Asian guy, right? So he's just filling out everything, and his counselor said, "Put it." So you guys know that just like government funding, if you don't spend the money, you don't get it the next year. So they have to allocate all this money and spend it for the women's STEM stuff. So they have to give it to people within the year. So he got almost all of the women's in STEM degrees because all these chicks weren't putting in for him, you know? So, and I think he had an androgynous name. His name was like Casey or something too, so they could
that helps
justify it. Hold on. We'll do like two more here.
Today I'm graduating with a master's in public administration and policy in the arts.
What kind of job?
Not as bad because she can go work from the city, go and work for the Fed, make decent money. That's a degree that you can get anywhere. You shouldn't do this at Columbia.
Can you get when you graduate?
The public sector in the arts, which is like the National Endowment for the Arts and things like that, but Trump cut them. So now I'm pivoting.
What are you pivoting to?
Foundations or museums, something like that. Public programs, education.
Hey guys, what's that knuckle-headed flag she has in her hand? Right? Come on, man.
Or education. Yeah.
How much could you make in this?
I think a lot of jobs are in the 50,000, 60,000. But if you move up the ranks and become like the head of education at a museum or something like that, you can make 100 to 150.
The thing about museums and libraries and stuff, like the National Library and all, guys, people stay in these jobs until the day they die.
Yeah.
She's never gonna she's gonna get some $60,000, $50,000 a year job, and in 20 years she'll still be there because the head of the manager is gonna be 95 and so, I've been working here since Nixon was president. You know what I'm saying? It's like because it's an easy job and no one's gonna leave. So
if you're commissioner for the arts for the city of New York, I think their salary is $200K, but that's like the highest position in the state. Today I'm graduating with a master's.
This knucklehead says, so for all those that are equating education just to making a certain amount of money, this is a reason why our community is struggling now. Clearly you don't get it. If an electrician is becoming an electrician just to make $160K, good luck. This is our problem. That's not a problem. We're talking about return on investment. These degrees aren't free. Guys, you could make this argument. I think Destiny had a thing where he's like, there's no such thing as useless degree. You could say that if they made art degrees free, English degrees free, gender studies degrees free, then you can say it's not useless because it's not costing you anything. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it does cost time.
That's true.
It does cost time, which could mean
what
something.
I'm saying is, my friend, he's Ethiopian. He thought that like a gender studies degree costs less than an engineering degree because you can make more as an engineer. I told him you can make this. I mean that they cost the same, and he couldn't believe it. What I'm saying though is, guys, like what I'm saying is that argument where there needs to be art teachers. Okay, like teaching art and all that other stuff. Like there should be, but guys, until the cost of tuition goes down, people should just abandon art degrees and all this other stuff because that's the only way. Like teaching, if teachers want to get paid more, people need to stop being teachers, and then the demand's going to go so high. And the supply is going to go so low that something will have to change, you know?
And art is more of a luxury type of thing that isn't as useful as other things. Like
but I guess
people only are going to consume more art.
No.
If they have excessive
I'm thinking about
income.
like kids do better. So for instance, music, right? Kids that play musical instruments do better in school. They just do.
Oh yeah.
Right. So like art and music for the sake of society. Kids shouldn't not have art class or music class or band or orchestra or any of that. The issue is who's going to go into $90,000 worth of debt. So in that way, it's useful. It's just the return on investment. It costs too much money, you know?
Like my daughter is a digital arts major in college, but her mom work at the school, so she pretty much going for free. So I mean, so my situation is that whatever she want to do with her life, she can do it. But at the end of the day, I ain't paying for it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Someone says, I would like my electrician to have more than a high school education. They do have more than a high school education, you dunderhead. What are you talking about? This person says, my cousin studied that major, but she didn't find any job. But she's still working at Walmart. Damn.
Wow.
Look at that.
So when that woman, that chick just said like, oh, like commissioner of the arts, like for New York, like I don't understand. Like, what is that job? What would it be doing?
I don't know. I don't even think she knows. Yeah, of course, guys, come on. Fashion Institute, of course, right? Look at this prod right here. I mean, come on, let's be honest.
Streets. I'm a bitch from the streets. I get that money. I get that money. Bitch, give me what you got.
So today I'm graduating from FIT and I'm graduating with my bachelor's in advertising, marketing, and communications and a minor in English.
Jesus.
I pretty much got into
useless, and more useless. Guys, cooked or no cooked, right? Cooked.
Well, just her whole attitude is like she's like speaking down to him, like just this garbage ass attitude.
Insane.
to it in high school. I was into like journalism, writing, and when I was looking at FIT, I was into the business school, and so the AMC program was like a natural progression.
What kind of job can you get in this field?
So I'm interested in PR. That's what all my internships were in, but you can do like advertising, marketing, copywriting, email editing, things like that.
How much could you make in this field?
So what I've seen for PR, the starting salary is usually between like 40 and 50K. And then like if you're like a manager of like a PR firm, you can make like easily like over 100,000. I would say intern, be open to doing like work for free.
Someone says she needs to get fit.
Freelance, network as much as possible, but definitely be open to like interning or like networking or doing things for free. So today I'm graduating from FIT.
We'll do one more, guys. Let's see. Oh, here we go.
I'm studying psychology and law. My mom's a lawyer and my dad got a psych major. I want to go into corporate litigation.
How much could you make in this?
I think upwards of 200K.
This type of chick, she will be a lawyer.
Yeah.
She has that kind of awkward type of like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like this chick, she's a little odd. Like, yeah, my mom has a psychology degree. Like these types of chicks go on to be lawyers. You know what I'm saying? And guys, she will be single for the rest of her life.
Good.
She said good.
To maybe like 750. Hey, make sure you actually like it because it is a lot of work, especially the LSAT.
What's your most ridiculous purchase?
I was actually on a flight a couple of days ago, and we were so delayed that I bought a Gucci bag out of boredom. I'm
single.
Wow.
Single
Yep.
forever. Look at that, guys. And obviously her parents are rich too, so you know they're gonna cats. Yeah. Cat stocks, guys. Are all bums. All of them, dude. All these chicks are all bums, and they want to quit their jobs, right? And find themselves in all this foolishness. And guys, let's be honest, right? If you quit your job, you don't have another job lined up.
You're a bum.
If you get laid off and you don't have a job for more than like a month or two,
You're a bum.
right? If this chick's living off her husband because he's the only one smart enough to have a job,
You're a bum.
and then her husband, obviously, right?
Beta.
He's an idiot. So, but Guys, anything else on the topic before we switch gears?
Yeah, I find it so demoralizing that so many African American womb walkers walking around have reduced themselves to such a state.
Yeah. Well. I mean, do you though? Because here's the thing, I'm allergic to B dubs. like I said, I don't even like black men and black women might as well be. Well, here, black men that have some sense, that are successful, like us, that are successful doing things in life, are a completely different species than B dubs and nug nugs. You know what I'm saying? I have nothing in common with them at all.
I didn't
Seriously.
say we had anything in common with them.
Yeah.
I'm saying the demoralization comes from the fact that other races of people are going to associate us with that ruined individual.
Yeah.
And that's the demoralizing factor of it all. Is that even though we don't have nothing to do with these individuals, we're going to be associated with them regardless. Because, you know, when people look at race, they don't look at individuals within the race. They look at the entirety of the race as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really worry because I've grown up in predominantly white areas my entire life, honestly. And like I said, there's only 33 black kids in my high school. And like especially us guys, us men, like, you know, we bond over video games, sports, all that other stuff. Guys, I'm in the South now, and I have friends of mine from the West Coast and from the DMV. Oh, AJ, you moved to the South? Oh, how's that? I said, everyone's cool here. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's nicer to each other here than in the DMV, where everyone hates each other and tries to front. You know what I'm saying? It acts crazy. You know, I think that we're, especially as men, right? Like you, me, Q, and Snowboard can walk into pretty much any bar or any place, you know, have some beers and be chill. You know what I'm saying? But now here's the thing. Us men know how to read the room, though. B-dubs, guys, Broderick, have you ever heard a black man use the term code switch? And I don't count Obama because he's not a man. I mean, let's be honest, right? Black men, we don't look. Everyone has to speak to different people differently. You don't talk to your mom the same way that you talk to your best friend. You don't talk to your best friend the same way that you talk to your boss. But B-dubs are the only one. I have the code switch. I have to talk to my boss differently than I talk to my mom. Of course you do, you dumb. The arrogance, the hubris, the self-centeredness to actually think that you should be able to be your authentic self no matter who you're talking to is absolute foolishness. But they're so entitled, they're so delusional that they think that someone saying, look, maybe you should talk to your boss with some respect, or maybe you should be polite to people that you don't know, that's somehow like oppression. You know what I'm saying?
It's not oppression. It's for the safety of the individual in both parties involved. It's a principle of decorum.
Yeah, it's common courtesy. You know what I'm saying? Guys, look, I don't respect any one group, race, religion, or whatever. Guys, respect is earned, okay? But you can give people common courtesy. Common courtesy is not that hard. It's not. Hi, how you doing? I'm AJ. Hey, how are you? Whatever. Cool, whatever. But guys, you don't have to, you have to respect women. No, I don't. Respect is earned.